Now, I will explain to you clearly what we are going to teach you now here in this, so that you can understand. Let us be on the same page like that. Now, we here, you are trying to join and we are trying to teach you this application that's called Oracle Fusion Financials Cloud Applications. The course is here, Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials, we can say. Financials applications. So this is what we are going to learn here. You know the Oracle, most of you, because some of you have already worked in Oracle. This Oracle was started as a database company. In early 80s, late 70s or early 80s, we can say rather, early 80s. So they have come out with an application, small application called Oracle Financials. That's why the name itself is very familiar in the market. They call it as Oracle Financials. Though Oracle has got other applications as well, because it started with the Oracle Financials, all people call it as Oracle Financials. They started ERP. We cannot call it as an application. They started an accounting application called Oracle Financials. It was more like a tally, or it was more like a small accounting package then when they started it in the early 90s. Early 90s. The version was release 10. Yeah. With that release 10, it was a character based. The release 10 was a totally character based. No, not GUI. Not GUI application. That means graphic user interfaces were not there. Only like DOS system, we will have to enter the keys, keyboard, like then only you can input the data into the system and get the data also output that way. So it was not internet enabled also. What all their application was there, they had to install it in their own company premises. So then through LAN system only, they used to have the applications. But it was working only for financials modules like general ledger, accounts payable. These things were working that. Then later, late in 90s, they have come out with Oracle e-business suite, EBS, e-business suite, release 11A. Release 11A. I means internet here, because they brought out a new product, because the internet was taking strides into the market. So they have also have no other option but to go for the internet-based applications. So release 11A, in which in addition to the financials, they came out with supply chain application, supply chain management, and a human resource management system, and also manufacturing modules also they brought into that. Manufacturing modules also they brought into the application like that. Up to this point, up to 11A, they were totally using Oracle database and Oracle forms. And that means forms are interfaces developed on Oracle platform. On Oracle forms, they used to do it. It was not more compatible. These forms that were doing that, they were not more compatible with the internet applications. So that's why they started more and more internet applications were coming in. So they started again, release 12. release 12, that's called EBS. That's also called EBS with with Oracle database and Oracle pages. Some of them were Oracle pages, so Oracle forms, and some of them were Java pages. Java pages like that. It was more compatible. Java, you know that wherever we use the internet-based applications, more of Java is there. And application development framework, ADF also is there. ADF also, technology came. So those forms also they were using. So they have done into that ADF. Now, most of the clients who have implemented 11i, they have changed, migrated into the, upgraded into the 12i. I don't think there is any client now using 11i because they have already stopped support for the 11i. So the 12i, release 12 was, EBS was implemented, started implementing from early 2000s. And early 2000, they started release 12. That is started with 12.0.1 version. Started with 12.0.1 version. 0.1. Now it is 12.2.15 also has come into the market, latest one. They are upgrading their application itself, they are upgrading. There are two reasons for this. Most of the clients already have used the application. They have implemented release 12, e-business suite. So now they cannot immediately migrate into the latest cloud applications. They have already made a lot of investments on this application. That's why Oracle is extending support till 2035. Oracle is supporting all the clients, all the existing clients up to 2035. They cannot leave that because two reasons. They have already made investments and Oracle gets 22% of the license cost or the software application cost every year in the form of support fees. So around 60 to 70% of income for Oracle is coming from the existing clients, from the support clients only. So that's the reason why they cannot afford to lose their revenue. That's why they are going to support them up to 2035. The Oracle e-business suite, Oracle has declared that they will be extending support. So that means there is a demand in the market, even for the people who already have the knowledge on release 12. They can continue to be supporting customers. No implementation, no fresh implementations are coming, no doubt, because Oracle is not encouraging anyone nowadays to implement release 12. Though versions are there for them to use and to get more facilities, they are upgrading the application. But still, they are not allowing they are not encouraging. I don't say allowing. They are not encouraging the customers to implement release 12. They want the customers to go for latest customers. They want to go for the cloud applications. So that's why there are opportunities for us to even to support also up to 2035. I don't think they will stop even at that point. So before, one difference here is why they will not stop it is, why they will not stop is up from release 11i to release 12, we can apply patches and upgrade the application. Upgrade the application. Same application 11i, those who have implemented already, they will have the data, they will have application, everything. To get the new functionalities of the release 12, they used to apply some patches and upgrade their application, upgrade their applications. But if you want to migrate, you cannot just upgrade, but we cannot upgrade from release 12 to release 12 EBS to cloud. We cannot upgrade into the cloud. We cannot move it. As they have upgraded it, existing application can be upgraded to the higher version by applying some patches. But here, when you come to the cloud, it is a totally new implementation. we have to totally implement it. It is a cloud-based. It has to be implemented afresh. So if the client has an option to implement afresh, if he has to implement it, he has got multiple choices. If he wants to use the existing one, he will try to manage it. He will take support and he will use it. If he is forced to go for a new application or to totally re-implement or implement afresh, then he will have other options also. That is why Oracle is also afraid. If we force them, if we stop the support, they may not necessarily go for Oracle Fusion. They may go for SAP, they may go for other ERP applications as well. So for that reason also, they will not stop the support to the existing clients under any circumstances. They don't want to lose the client. So now the cloud applications came in the year 2025. In 2015, Oracle has come out with the Fusion Cloud, Fusion applications. So this is a cloud-based one. This is a cloud-based one. Up to this point, release 11 and 12, they were all on-premise model. Server was there on the premises of the customer. The customer used to buy the software. He used to buy the servers. He used to have his own network. Then he used to maintain his own servers also. He uploads the application. Software is loaded into the server and also setup and everything is made and he will start using. Everything was maintained by the customer by himself on his own premises. But this is latest one is Cloud Fusion applications is cloud-based one. Here, software is owned by Oracle only. They don't sell the software. Customer does not need to buy the software. It is only license like that they pay it. Usage, as per usage, they will pay it. Software is owned by Oracle only. Customer uses it. And pays for it. And he will pay for it. He can take how many users you want to have and how many years you want to have. You can have a contract with Oracle. I want to use this for 2 years. You pay only for 1 year or 2 years or 1 year first. Then again renew it like that. You can go on paying it. Pay as you use. That model, it is the cloud application is working here. This we call it as, why we are calling it as a fusion applications is, why they have named it fusion applications, I will explain to you. And this is a cloud-based. When it is a cloud-based, the cloud computing companies are giving 3 kinds of cloud applications. Cloud computing companies are providing services of these 3 types. One is SaaS model. SaaS model. Software as a service. Software as a service. So when you say software as a service, Oracle, take for example, Oracle gives their software. Customer uses it without customization. Customer uses it without any customization. Customization means every software is developed, an application is developed, right? So the application, the basics cannot be changed. That's why they will not allow. One software is used by many clients, right? In the common server, they make instances and give it. So they cannot change the software or look and feel, they cannot change. So that's why customer uses it without any customizations. Only report customizations. Report customizations are allowed. Because it does not tantamount to be a customization. Tantamount to be a customization. Only data you're manipulating. We are manipulating only the data. So that's why you're not making any changes to the software as it is. So that's why it is there. Another model is platform as a service, PaaS model. This is called platform as a service. Same, Oracle gives their software, not free of cost, but at a cost. Limited customizations are allowed. Here, limited customizations are allowed in this PaaS model. Then another model is there called Oracle is following these two models because their own software. Oracle is a software company as well. It is not only cloud computing company like Azure or AWS, Amazon Web Services. So many companies are there, right? Cloud computing companies nowadays. They are providing services to the customers. So now other model is IaaS, infrastructure as a service. In this, it is called infrastructure as a service. So in this model, there is no software. They do not provide. Cloud computing company does not provide any software to us. We are at liberty to have our own software. We can have our own applications. We can have our own applications. So naturally, so we can have so many, we can have any number of customizations. But maintenance is ours. We need to maintain. We need to maintain the server. We need to maintain the database. That means our consultants must take care of, though it is launched in the cloud, we will be given access to that server. Any things that you want to do, we have to do on our own. Whereas in the first two cases, Oracle will have their own database administrator, service maintenance, applying patches, all those things in these two cases, SaaS and PaaS models, they only will take care because software is theirs. If we are going for IaaS model, then we have to take care of ourselves. The application is our own application. Only infrastructure they are providing, like server, network, everything they are providing. So that's why we call it as a cloud. Oracle Cloud application is the SaaS model. Then we are seeing the fusion. Why are we calling it as a fusion? Because we call it a fusion because Oracle had purchased so many, a few companies, I can say, a few software companies with best practices available in them, available with them. They purchased it because they considered that they are also competitors. JD Edwards was their competitor, JDE. That means JD Edwards. JD Edwards was good in financials and supply chain as well. So PeopleSoft was good in human resources applications. And it was worldwide, it was accepted, and so many customers were there for them in many countries. So they were, in a way, they were competitors for the Oracle also, and their applications were also accepted. Good processes were there, best practices were followed by them, some of the best features. So they are very familiar, those applications. And another application called Primavera was good in project management. Primavera was good in the project management, and Hyperion database was there. Hyperion was good in planning and budgeting. And also in reporting, easy reporting. CBEL was good in customer relationship. CRM, customer relationship management. So when these people are doing well, Oracle bought over all these companies. Oracle bought over all these and some other companies also. Oracle bought over all these companies and integrated their best processes with Oracle processes, Oracle software, Oracle processes, and brought a, and so it was called as a fusion. So we call it as a fusion. More than one best practices are included into the Oracle. So that's why they called it name as, they called it as fusion applications. As fusion applications. Because it is integrated. It is integrated with and also combined. Their best practices were taken from the other softwares. They cannot copy the software. That's why they had to purchase the companies. Once they purchase, they will be won out. Even now, you see some of the customers using PeopleSoft, but slowly, gradually, they will be fading away. Oracle will have its own name. All these companies are owned by Oracle now. So that's why this is called as a fusion applications taken into more than one application was taken into the account. So like that. If you e-business people, Mr. Kishore and other people who worked already on the e-business suite, you must be knowing that we can do a lot of customizations there as per the client's requirement because it is his own software. But here in the fusion applications, we cannot do any customization. Major customizations, we cannot do that. So that is with regard to the application of it. So then this is an application is an ERP, right? ERP is an enterprise resource planning. The Oracle Fusion is also a ERP application. ERP means this is enterprise resources planning. Every enterprise will have resources. They will have to optimally use them in order to get maximization of profits for them. So they will have to be using the applications, software applications, and also they need to, their resources are properly need to be planned for maximizing the profits. So that's why the ERP software has come into this. This is used by, you know that this can be used only by the large business organization. This will be or can be not only small also can do it. This will normally be used by large business organizations. Large business organizations. So it can accommodate their operations in across the globe also can be, their global operations can be recorded in one single server. The customers' global operations can be recorded in one single server. That means the database is centralized. So database is centralized. When we are keeping the data of all the organizations into one server, then naturally one question will arise, how to get the data back? How can we segregate the data on the lines of the companies, organizations, each organizations like that? So normally every software company also, when they are going for ERP, they will structure the organization structure. Software also will be organized in such a way that you can input the data of multiple companies in multiple countries, and you will be easily able to retrieve the data from the server on the lines of each company. So like that, they have on the top, they will have the business group in the previous version. Now they call it as a enterprise. On the top of the organization, they will have an enterprise. That enterprise will have to follow multiple ledgers. You know, basically, any software or any application any company has to finally prepare their financial statements like trial balance, profit and loss account and also their balance sheets, and they should be producing them to the stock exchanges, to the government, and also to the shareholders as well. So to prepare the financials, everything, it has to, when you record a transaction in a particular country, you will have to record the transaction in their own currency. We cannot record transactions in our rupees if a company is there in UK or USA. So any enterprise has to follow multiple ledgers. Ledgers, they need to have a ledger. That's what the system says, that here we can have one ledger. If you have operations in USA, so you can say, take for example, Tata Enterprises here. Tata is an enterprise, large organization. So Tata Enterprise is having operations in USA. So we have to maintain Tata USA primary ledger. They record their transactions in their own primary ledger. They maintain separate. Then only they will be able to identify the transactions in the US. Same way, if Tata has got Indian operations also here, you can have the Tata here, Tata India primary ledger. Then if you have UK, if they have UK operations here, they need to definitely maintain one more ledger there. That's called Tata UK primary ledger. One enterprise can have multiple ledgers. When you say a ledger will have four components. A ledger will have necessarily. So this one, first one is they need to have a currency. When you record a transaction, you will have to record it in the form of in which currency you are doing the transaction. So currency, calendar, right? Financial calendar, how they are following. It may be fiscal calendar or it may be calendar type of calendar, and chart of accounts. Apart from that, you will have the subledger accounting method also. These are the four constants that any ledger will have. So any of these constant changes, then it is called a different ledger. They record the post the ledger, it will be called a different ledger. Here you are following here, they follow here USD, if it is USA. In India, we will follow it as the INR. And here in UK, they may follow the GBP, they follow it. GBP. Their calendar may be different. In India, we follow the fiscal calendar that starts in 1st of April and ends up on the 31st of next year. So that's called fiscal calendar, whereas the other types are going there, calendar type of calendars. So like this, the primary ledger. So one primary ledger can be followed by multiple companies, legal entities. Suppose you have got Tata Chemicals. Tata Chemicals is there. And also you have Tata Motors. Take for only two companies as example for that. These two companies, because they are following here India operations, they are doing it, necessarily their calendar will be the same. Their calendar will be the same and their currency also is same. So that's why they can follow one ledger. As long as their currency and calendar are same and subledger accounting method is same, they can follow the same ledger. So this India primary ledger will be followed by these two companies. So that means when you are creating and associating with this ledger, you will be able to segregate the data on these lines. Structure, organization structure, this is how they follow it. On the top, they will have enterprise. One enterprise can have multiple ledgers. One ledger can be followed by multiple companies or legal entities. So one legal entity can follow only one ledger. They cannot post into two ledgers. They will have to follow for their primary reporting. They will have to follow only one ledger. So one company can follow only one ledger. Each company may have operations in two different locations. Suppose Tata Chemicals is there. They may be producing their fertilizers plant in Babrala is there. Babrala fertilizers plant. That is also their business unit. And also they have got Tata Salt will be there in Dwarka, Gujarat. So this is, though they are operating, this is called as a business unit. This is called business unit. And this is called the legal entity. And this is the ledger. And this is the enterprise. This is the enterprise. This is the top level. Below that level is ledger. Below that legal entity. And below that is the business unit. Business unit, a part of the company only. Business unit is nothing but an integral part of the company only. Within that, whatever the operations they do here in fertilizer, whatever they do in the salt, both will come as the financial statements will be prepared by only the company, GRE. This is the government registered entity, GRE. So this is the one company is associated. So this is how we establish the link, so that whenever you do any operation in this organization, in this business unit, they will automatically go to the company. They will automatically go to this company. We are establishing a link by way of associating them like this. When you define a business unit, you will tell to the system, this business unit falling under Tata Chemicals. And Tata Chemicals is following this ledger. So that means, though the single server is there, system will segregate the data while posting itself. When the data is segregated at the time of posting itself, it will be easy for anyone to take out the reports and other things. Reporting becomes easier. See, again, in this level, you have got the inventory organization. Inventory organization. One company can have multiple inventory organizations where you store the items. Inventory 1, inventory 2, like that. Inventory 3, inventory 4, like any number of inventory organizations you can have. One business unit can have any number of inventory organization where you can store the material, like raw material, work in process, or work in finished goods, any other thing, any items you want to store it, that can have multiple, any number of. Horizontally, there is no limit. You can have 100 inventory organizations also. This is how you establish the link. And under the inventory organization, you will have the sub-inventories. The sub-inventory is the place where actually we store the material. Store the material. Items you will store there in the sub-inventory only. So like this, under the sub-inventory, again, you can create them as the locators. Easy identification. Locators are easy identification. So that is how we establish the link between the organization and organization. So easily the data can be segregated, though single server is maintaining all the operations across the globe for any large business organization. That's called enterprise. This is what, and here HR, human resources, are identified with this enterprise. Suppose an employee is working for Tata, he says, I'm working for Tata's. He will not say Tata Motors or any other thing. He will say Tata. So employees are identified. Even in the software application also, they are associated with the enterprise only. At the ledger level, you can have the general ledger. GL means general ledger. And also we can implement the fixed assets. Fixed assets work at a ledger level. Then legal entity level, cash management works. At the business unit level, accounts payable, accounts receivable, projects, order management, services, like this. So many applications work at the business unit level. You cannot, accounts payable cannot be working at the legal entity level. It will work only at the business unit level. How many business units we have, those many number of times we need to make setup. Accounts payable, if this business unit is using, I have to implement here. If they are using accounts payable, then they will have to do that. So like that, how many business units they have, those many times we need to make setup for the accounts payables, accounts receivable, all these sub-ledger applications. So inventory also, inventory works at the inventory organization level. We need to make setup for each inventory organization. The rules and regulations may be different in each inventory. That's why we'll have to make the multiple setups we have to make for that. So this is how the data, though the single service operations across the globe can be viewed from one single location. You can, anyway, whoever has got the access, they will be able to see that. Now, with regard to the course content, what we are going to deal with now here is, in Oracle application is a large application. It has got multiple product families that were called in the up to business e-business suite release 12. They used to call it as a product family. Now they are calling it as, in this fusion, they are calling it as offerings. In the offerings. So these product family and offerings, so many product families or offerings are there, like Oracle Financials. Then here Oracle SCM, Supply Chain Management, Oracle HCM, Human Capital Management, and Oracle Projects, Project Portfolio Management, Project Portfolio Management. That means all the project related ones, construction projects or engineering projects, anything. What all to come like this? So many product families are there. I'm just giving you a few of the product families here. In the Oracle product financial family, we have general ledger, we have accounts payable, core modules. There are so many other small applications, main applications I'm talking about it. Accounts payable, accounts receivable. Then you will have cash management. Then you will have fixed assets. These are the core modules. So here, as I told you before, the supply chain comes from starts from the purchasing. Then you will have inventory, order management, sales module. And some other applications also will come under this category. In the Oracle also, you will have Oracle Human Resources. You will have the core HR, core human resources, where you will employ data, everything will be done. Payroll, self-service, Oracle time and labor, and also Oracle learning management. Each application, this is a product family. Oracle HCM, they call it. Under that, you have got applications, several applications or modules, we can call them. So these modules are there available in this product family. This is called offering, and this is called opt-in features. So now here in the project also, you have got project costing and project billing, etc. So many other modules are also there in the project portfolio also. Our main focus will be here to teach you the financials part of it. So these modules will be fully covered for you. Nowadays, everybody is expecting the people, the consultants also, even the financial consultant, should have the knowledge on some processes. So they are called procure to pay process. In this procure to pay process, we have got the modules called, it covers purchasing, it covers inventory, it encompasses, and it counts the payables module. Payables modules. So in this process, what we can teach you is how to raise a purchase, small proportion of it. Around, you can think that 25% of the application. Purchasing will be taught here. And inventory also around 20 to 20% we can taught here, because we create items, we create inventory organizations. I'll teach you how to do the transfers between the sub-inventories. That part we can see that. And payables will say that this is 100% what all the things we need to do, we'll do that, because we are financial consultants. But familiarization will be done with the procure to pay process. Same way you have got the order to cash process. This order to cash process will come across with this. First it is order management. Order management, where we enter the sales orders, we book the sales orders, we ship the material to the customer, how to ship the material to the customer. All these things also will be taught to you in a to the small extent. Then the order management also involves inventory, because ultimately you will have to ship the product, means you will ship the products from the inventory only. How the inventory will be depleted. When you execute a sales order, the inventory stock position should be depleted so that it will come there, inventory part of it. So again, it is receivables. Whenever we sell a product, that products will have to collect money from the customers. So this account receivable will come. Same way it is here, around 20% to 25% you can have that. Here also 20% familiarization already. And receivables 100% will teach you about it, because they are closely integrated. Receivables is closely integrated with the order management, and the order management has got a connection to the inventory. Because when you are selling the product, it has to be removed from the inventory. So that part we can tell you. So this is the areas we will be covering for you in this. As I told you, the course will be taught minimum 90 hours. Course duration is 90 hours. 90 hours. 90 to 100 hours, we can say. Sometimes it may go more also. Minimum I'm telling is 90 hours. 1.5 hours a day. Class is 1.5 hours a day. So we can complete in 60 days. Every day we attend, but you know that we may not attend. We may not have classes every day because of holidays, because of Sundays, everything. So that's why it takes. It may take around 80 to 90 days maximum. It may take 80 to 90 days maximum. Maximum it will take. So you also need to practice. You also need to practice at least 1.5 hours to 2 hours. 2 hours a day, minimum. So that you will be able to cope up with the application. You can understand it. Try to practice every day. Instance will be given to you. So in that instance, you can practice it. What all I say? By practicing, what will happen? Next day when we come to the class, you can raise me a doubt. All the questions, list out what are the doubts you have. Next day class, even after 1 hour, 30 minutes is over also, those who have doubt, they can stay online. They can ask me questions. I will answer them. I will support them for their practice also. So that's what. Especially with regard to me, I don't know how people teach. So many people teach the same subject, but differently they teach it. My method of thinking is that I explain concepts 100%. First one, the very fundamental thing is that I will explain concepts. One should be conceptually clear. When you go for a setup, we are not going there as a data entry operators. Just if somebody teaches you how to enter invoice, how to create accounting, how to send the entries to the general ledger, this is nothing but just data entry operator. My thing is concepts I will explain. What is an invoice? Why it will be debited? Why it will be created? Those things of each and everything, point by point, I will explain. I will explain the concepts. Then I will make you thorough with the setups. Setups will be taught. Setups, explanation will also be taught. From my side, I'm telling it. That means anything you are making a setup involves enabling some checkboxes, going in for certain options, everything that. Then when we are enabling it, I will tell you that why we should enable it, what will happen if we do not do that. And when we do the transactions after making the setup, also I will show you why that transaction is happening like that and where from it is picking that setup. That also I will link that so that you will be able to understand it. Then I also can explain you the accounting entries of all the processes. Why the accounting entries is coming and how the accounting entries, where it will impact in the profit and loss account, or it will go to the balance sheet. By doing so, where it is impacting, when the entry is created, when that same entry is being nullified again. There may be some intervening entries, so that also I will be able to explain to you. So concepts and accounting entries, everything will be done. And customers implementation scenarios. Why should you make setup only in that way? If the client asks you in some other way, what should be your answer? And real-time implementation scenarios. Real time. When you go to the project, what kind of attitude the customer will have, and with what type of requests he will come to you, and how you will have to handle him properly. You cannot say no because he is paying you for our implementation. But at the same time, you cannot also accommodate all his requests. What type of requests you can accommodate and what type of requests you can politely say no to. These things I will be able to tell you with my experience on the on-site projects. So these are the things that from my side I can assure you. Any doubts you want to have or any questions you have, you can please ask me.
Yeah, you can teach the setup also, right? In real, the setups, not the creation.
Everything set up right from the creation of the user, as if you are implementing a new project. I will show you
And
that.
also mappings also you can teach, right?
Mapping means, what do you mean by mapping?
How to we need to map from one ledger to another ledger.
Yeah, that is true, right?
Suppose we are using
Yeah,
you are saying only primary ledgers. There's also secondary ledger concept also is there.
correct. Sure that. We will create a secondary ledger and I will show you what is the purpose of the secondary ledger and what is the reporting ledger. And there is a consolidation also, ledger also.
Yes,
I
yes,
can
yes.
tell you the consolidation also.
And currency conversions and everything will be
That is
right.
true, right? When you say it is a consolidation, you will have to translate, right? RTC,
Yeah.
revaluation,
Yes, yes.
translation, and consolidation. And how to enter foreign currency transactions, how the rates will be converted. So all these explanations, I will do that. What are the cross-currency operations in the accounts payable module as well as the account receivable module? Every concept I will explain to you. Don't worry about the concepts.
Yeah.
Any question you ask me, if I know immediately, I will tell you, or else I will also search for it and also get in the next class to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That coming to general ledger, you can teach right how to create some. Suppose they are using 7 segments, how to create that segments. How to we create some like crash validation rules and all. You can teach right KFF and DFF. How
Yes.
we need to
Cross
have that.
validation rules. Yes, definitely. Everything is part of course content. Also, you can say what is the cross validation, what is dynamic insert, allow dynamic insert,
Yeah.
what purpose it comes
Yeah.
there. And when are using the segments also, what kind of label you need to do that? What is the functionality of the label? I will teach in detail. I will explain to you that. In GL itself, if you want to take 10 classes, I can take 10 classes on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is not only that, okay, gee, normally if you go to any other places, I'm not commenting at others, but I have seen some people in Hyderabad also. When they create the chart of accounts for the purpose of practice, they create 2 or 3 segments and then say this, then leave it. They do not explain the concept properly. Most of the people, I don't say everybody, but most of the people where I have seen certain videos, they are just explaining that this is a segment. Then what is the segment? How it is associated? What should be the size of it? How many segments you should suggest to the client? If a client wants to have 20 segments, can you accommodate it? Do you need to give them 20 segments? See, all these kinds of real-time scenarios. Practically, how it can be implemented, everything I can teach you like that. I don't
Yeah.
just like that say that what to be done and why it should be done also, I will explain to you.
Yeah. If something goes too wrong whenever we do some setups, that scenario is also positive and nutrition also. So also you
That's
can
right.
explain this very useful for us.
Every setup of every application, fixed assets, what is the calendars? Why do you do that? What is the prorate convention? Right? What type of prorate conventions are there? What does it do? Everything I will teach you that. Don't worry. You should have, if the student is interested, so that I can take him to any level. I can take to because I can supplement him. Whatever the knowledge you have, you may have knowledge already. I can supplement it with my own experience. I have a sound accounting background because I worked in a bank for 22 years. I'm a postgraduate in commerce. And also I used to teach management accountancy to the bankers. So like this, so many things are there. So with regard to accounting entries, commerce, background, everything, you don't need to worry. So this is what we can do that. Any other doubts? Any other person has it? I'm ready to answer you. Yeah, only two are there, right? I think two people have left. They may have gone to offices, something like.
Yeah.
Madam Nidhi,
I
you have
have
any
small
doubt?
doubt. Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, here it is any, you can at least you can touch any vendor creation supplier part you are not touching, or you are touching that supplier part.
Vendor creation.
Vendor creation and supplier.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a part of training course, right? I'm telling you, it is as if we are implementing a new project. As if we are implementing a new project, you will be there.